Ready to grow your business with intention, just like Quinn did? Use a quiz lead magnet to grow your list. Quizzes average a 40% conversion rate. That's 4 out of every 10 website visitors subscribing. And that is not all. Erica LaShonda increased her average email open rate from 30% to 60% with her quiz email sequence. Nina Clapperton improves her SEO stats like page views and bounce rates by emailing curated content that solves her quiz leads challenges. And Kay Putnam has made over $100,000 and counting in core sales from her evergreen quiz. Interact is the fastest and easiest way to build and launch your lead generation quiz. And with our newest AI feature, you can have a quiz built entirely for you for free, all in about 5 minutes. The quiz is added to your Interact account where you can customize it to infuse your own sparkle, connect it to your email list, embed it on your website, and start growing the heck out of your email list. Head on over to LaShondaBrown.com/interact to create your quiz lead magnet today.
Hello and welcome to Bootstrap Biz Advice, where I teach service providers how to leverage tech and YouTube to increase traffic to their offers, generate passive income, and partner with brands. If this is your first time here, my name is LaShonda Brown. I am a tech educator, YouTube coach, and speaker based in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Today's live stream is sponsored by Interact. And before I introduce you to today's guests, I would like to quiz the audience on aha slides to figure out where you are tuning in from. So friends, we're literally doing the most. So if you are watching on Instagram, LinkedIn, or YouTube, go ahead and either scan the QR code or you can go to ahaslides.com/JJIXK. Just scan the QR code, y'all. Ain't nobody got time for all of that. So go ahead and scan it. This is like school. We're going to do a little activity. I am giving away a Starbucks gift card. So it will be worth your time. And once you go there, we are going to actually participate in a live poll where you get to add where you are watching from into a word cloud. I am going to play some music while we're doing that. And then I'm going to go to the next slide, which is the spinner wheel, so that we can choose a winner. So what I want you to do is to make sure that you put in your name because that's going to be helpful for the spinner wheel. And I'm going to go ahead and get us a little bit of music. I believe the music is about 5 minutes long. So we'll just let that play out. We probably won't do the full 5 minutes. But once we get a good amount of people in here, then we'll go to the spinner wheel. So I will start our music and we will do our little activity. All right, I will give you guys a couple more seconds and then we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel. So I don't see anyone's type. Oh, there's someone else typing. Okay, I'll give you a chance. Okay. Last call. Okay. I feel like we're at a good point. It looks like the majority of you guys are in North Carolina, which is funny because I am in Virginia, but that's cool. Love to see it. All right. So I hope you put your name in. We shall see. All right. So I believe you have the opportunity to add your name to the spinner wheel. So Camille, Tawana, let's see who else. Once I get, I will say at least 4 entries, then I will go ahead and spin it. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds here. If you want to try AHA Slides because you are an online educator, I think it's so much fun. You can just go to LaShondaBrown.com/AHA and you can try out that tool. It's pretty great. I like it because it makes things a bit more interactive than your typical Zoom call. You guys know Zoom calls are just the pits. So this makes it a little bit more exciting. All right, so let's see, who do we have here? Tawana, Camille, Cynthia, Nicole. I think that's Charmaine. Might have gotten cut off. Paula, Patrice. Okay. All right, so we got enough to get going. So we're gonna really count them all here. That's a long roll. And the winner is Trisha, you won. Okay, so shoot me a DM, my friend, so I can send that to you. That's how that's going to work. All right, so that was fun. So what I want to do to get myself acclimated a little bit is we're going to run the stinger and then I'm going to bring up our guest because I actually want her to introduce herself. I'm not going to be super formal about this. So friends, I will be right back with our guest for today, the lovely Quinn. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, I'm going to let you introduce yourself while I get acclimated over here. Let the people know who you are and what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, well, hello, everybody. My name is Quinn Tempest. And if you're wondering, yes, that is my real name. I've been told I sound like Marvel's next superhero, which would be amazing because I live in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's very hot. So my superpower would be definitely to control the weather. But for now, my only superpowers are consulting and education for really purpose-led small businesses and entrepreneurs who want to grow their businesses with intention without sacrificing what matters most. And I am also the founder of Create Your Purpose, which I trademarked many years ago. I'm very proud of that. Not Find Your Purpose, which is amazing because what sparked that is something LaShonda and I bonded over last week when we were chatting. TJ Maxx, you can go there and see the candles or the statement mugs that say Find Your Purpose. And I was never about that because I don't think purpose is something that just bonks you on the head in the middle of a quiet moment of meditation. It's something that you can decide for yourself. And especially for entrepreneurs, it's something that you can really infuse into your business to act strategically and grow without compromising the things that matter, like your family, your values, your well-being, your sanity. So over 4 years ago, I founded my Create Your Purpose Collective, which is my community of women entrepreneurs who prioritize the same things, what matter most. And I provide support, accountability, mentorship, and education in that community. And yes, I am a Maxinista, just like LaShonda. So super excited to be here and talk about quizzes specifically.
I literally told her, I was like, girl, I'm going to reward myself after this is over with some TJ Maxx.
Yeah. We're both going to be there this week.
Yes, we'll have to like show each other our hauls and some DMs. So I want to get down to the nitty gritty because you and I were not planning on actually doing this live stream. I talked to you on Zoom because I'm supposed to be teaching in your membership, but then you just let the bomb drop that you've had 17,000 people take your Interact quiz. And I'm like, I have never heard of that. So I want to talk about getting started with quizzes. And I want to know, like, did you knock it out the park the first time, or like, did it take a while to iterate? Like, how did this happen to you?
Well, I know we're going to talk numbers later, so I'm excited to say I checked my numbers and it's almost 18,000 now, but we'll get back to that. So getting started with my quizzes. So I have to kind of give you some backstory. So I come from a past life in the corporate world. So I was director of marketing at a content marketing agency. I was traveling all over the country, teaching workshops, consulting with really big multinational brands that are household names. And I got to a point in my own entrepreneurial journey where I kind of had to decide what my path was going to be. It was either really go hard and full into this corporate director of marketing role, or pursue an idea that had really been gnawing at me for many years, which was really what my business is all about now. But at the time, it was something I really hadn't explored, this idea of purpose-led small business ownership and entrepreneurship. And so I decided I had that fork in my path to take the path of my own ideas. And that was back in 2017. And so I knew, since I come from a background in marketing, I was really focused on lead generation through content in that role. I was like, well, I need to do it for myself. I've done this for clients for years, but I've never done this for my own business. And so the first thing that I did was I knew I needed to build my email list. So I was going to create an opt-in. And the first thing I started with was a video training on what is purpose. Because I think it's, something that we all come to with our own definition. Some people think it's this thing you're born with and you have to discover something. It's just a lot of different definitions out there. And so I decided I was going to do this video training, put it on my website, and generate leads, and also run ads to leads, which ads is an important part of quizzes, which we'll talk about for sure today. But that was my big thing that I wanted to start with, was just a video lesson about purpose. And so I ran some ads to it, and it just was really expensive. I wish I could still find that data, but it was so long ago, Meta doesn't save it for you. But I think it was something like $8 a lead. And that was not sustainable.
$8?
It was something really, it was high. It was really big.
No, we're not doing that.
Right.
I was like, you're at Bootstrap Biz Advice. We're not.
Exactly.
No, we're not
exactly. So I took that proportion of the video and I was like, okay, what if I change this and take the worksheet that came with it and lead with that in my ads instead?
You kind of cannibalized it.
Yeah.
So you took the worksheet from a previous lead generation strategy to use it for the quiz?
Yeah, I kind of flipped like what I was leading with. So instead of leading with a video lesson, which the cost per lead was too high, I led with a tangible worksheet because, and I don't know if we can curse on here, but is that allowed?
Do what you want, girl.
Okay. Bitches love worksheets, and that's that's a thing I've heard.
No lies detected.
No, I mean, we love it, right? Because it's tangible. It's something
on a t-shirt. That's hysterical. Oh, a good PDF, girl. A PDF and a spreadsheet. Yes.
Let's bootstrap a bitches love worksheets thing. Or checklists. Bitches love checklists too. But the goal really was to give something tangible that they could print out and work through versus like a video lesson. Like, what am I getting out of that? So I started doing that. The cost per lead was better, but it wasn't great. And I got to this point where I decided, I always wanted to do a quiz in my corporate life. In fact, I remember pitching it to some of our big name clients and they're like, that's not really what we're going for. Especially because I think there's this preconception of like those BuzzFeed style quizzes, which, don't get me wrong, I love those too. Like, what NSYNC member are you? naturally I would be JC, who is the most underrated NSYNC member of all time, although I love a good JT. But I digress. So I decided, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to try a quiz. So I took what the core message of that video lesson and that worksheet was, which was discovering your purpose and creating it in your business. And I thought about how I could turn that into a quiz. So really that was the root of all of this, was lead generation, building my own audience as I stepped away from my corporate role, and doing it in a way that was cost effective and, as I would find out, really meaningful, to give people a tool to reflect on their own emotional drive as an entrepreneur. Yep, there it is.
This is the quiz right here.
Mm-hmm. It's simple, right? Nothing else, just the quiz.
Okay, so I don't mean any harm by this, but I get so caught up in titles.
Yes.
And your title for your quiz is so straightforward and simple. Like, do you think that a lot of people get hung up on they'll try to come up with something super clever? Like you say, what's your entrepreneurial purpose? It's pretty straightforward what the question is and what the quiz is going to provide. So for people who get caught up on that naming part of the quiz, do you think that's that essential?
I do. I think the question is almost the most essential thing. Of course, there's the imagery. As you can see, I chose something that was very in line with my brand, colorful, heartfelt. But I also wanted to make sure I captured the need and the pain point of someone that would be my target client eventually, or target community member in the case of my collective. And I do think this is something that a lot of people, if you're considering a quiz for your business, you need to focus on getting the right question. In fact, LaShonda, I'm not even sure that was the initial question I started with, but I realized that maybe when I talked about purpose, it wasn't being thought of within a business standpoint. And I think that's a common thing, right? And so I needed to be really clear on what is your entrepreneurial purpose, and also not your business mission statement. That's another thing. So a lot of thought went into that. And that is something that we should all consider when creating quizzes, is what is a headline that will pique someone's curiosity, speak to something that they need. In my case, someone's probably lacking a sense of drive and sparkle and purpose, and really it compel them to start it out. And then the second thing there too, if you see, there's a headline under that, which I think is increasingly important. And I think Interact does this well with allowing you to do that. I can read it here. It says 12 questions to help you go from frazzled to fulfilled in your business and uncover the entrepreneurial why that drives you. So I speak to the transformation that I'm promising in my entire business, frazzled to fulfilled, and the solution, which is getting clear on your purpose. So you can see there's strategy behind it, and it's also needs to be concise and visually compelling and fun.
That makes complete sense. Complete sense. So here's my thing though. What would you consider to be step one?
Well, there's like a two-part step one, if I can do that. I think the first part is deciding what style quiz you want. And Interact has really great resources on helping you decide, or helping you even know what the different styles are. I personally went with a personality type quiz, which I think are probably one of the most popular effective types. Think about the Harry Potter quiz, right? Where you find out your house. I'm a Ravenclaw, by the way, if you couldn't guess. LaShonda, do you know your Harry Potter house at all?
Girl, I was not allowed to watch Harry Potter.
Oh,
no. But here's the thing though. I'm grown, so I've watched it now, but I don't have the names memorized.
Okay, I think you're a Hufflepuff, but
that sounds cute. I'll take it.
Yeah. And we would get along. So it's like that, or like Enneagram or things like that. They're also popular because they give you this tool to know something about yourself. It's why horoscopes are popular. And that is the same thing as a personality type quiz. There's other quiz types that Interact. I remember when I was creating my quiz, they had a whole blog on it. I think there's like scored quizzes, things like that. But I was like, personality is perfect. So that's the first thing. What type of quiz are you going to create? And then second, what are the results? I personally think that starting with results, and I've worked with a few entrepreneurs in my collective who have developed their own quizzes over the years. So it's not just me I'm talking about, but I think you want to start with the results especially in a personality type quiz, and then reverse engineer the questions to get there. And why that's important is you want to know where you're leading someone throughout the quiz, right? Because each question they answer and every answer they pick gets a behind the scenes tally that then gives them the result. So if you don't know the result, you're not going to know how to structure and engineer the questions to get there. So in my case, I created 8 results. Now I think Interact probably recommends less than that, but they liked mine, so I went with 8. And they're called purpose profiles. So the idea is after someone answers the 12 questions of my quiz, they get delivered a result telling them what they are. So for instance, there's the leader whose entrepreneurial drive is to empower. There's the educator to educate. There's the inspiration. There's the catalyst, which is all about igniting change. And so the idea of really doing those results is then I could go back, think about the questions that will lead them there, and also think about the answers that will lead them to a specific result that when they get that result, they're like, oh yeah, that's totally me. And I'm curious, LaShonda, did you take my quiz? Do you know what you are, or can I
It's
take
on
a
my
guess?
list. It's on my list.
Okay.
Girl, I was like getting everything queued up. I'm like, I got windows on my windows and so
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I promise I will. But here's
Can I
the
guess
thing
what
though.
you were going to be? I think you're going to be
Yeah,
a
go
creator.
for it. Yeah.
You're going to be a
Creator.
creator. Yeah,
Okay, good.
for sure.
That feels right. That feels right.
Yeah.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing, girl. We got to be honest. There was a time where all the girlies were doing the quizzes, and so people got quizzed out. So how do you get people to take the quiz? You made the quiz. You got into Interact. You've done the AI tool, or you've done it yourself. But
Yeah.
how do we get the people to actually take the quiz?
Yeah, well, I think it's a little bit about what we talked about the right question, the right headline, but then it's about all of the marketing that you do to get in front of your ideal clients. So just because you have a quiz doesn't mean that it's automatically going to be taken. So I like to think of anything I create, I'm going to take it on a road show. I'm going to promote it. I'm going to speak in memberships. I'm going to do live streams. I'm going to have podcast episodes about it. And in my case, one of my biggest things that I did, and the sun is finally coming up. So if I look blinded, I am. It's morning time here. But one of the biggest things I did to get people to take my quiz was ads. And I know ads feels like a dirty word.
So when you say ads,
yeah.
call it spade a spade. Are we talking Facebook? Are we talking Instagram, LinkedIn? Like who did you pay?
Yeah. Meta nowadays.
Meta.
Yes. And specifically the best performing ads have been on Instagram, although I do have Facebook ads. It's all within the same realm. My best cost per lead has come through Instagram story ads, which has been really amazing. So I have been running an ad campaign basically from the start of me creating this quiz. So that was back in July of 2019.
What kind of budget we talking? Because you know I'm cheap.
Yeah, me too. Girl,
okay, good.
We go to TJ Maxx and get discount candles. Of course.
TJ Maxx, so I feel like you're a reasonable person, but like, what is your monthly ad spend to do those story ads?
So I focus less on the monthly ad spend because that fluctuates, and I try to get a good cost per lead because then I literally have a calculator in my business dashboard where I can look at what's coming up and I say, okay, I know my average cost per lead is about $150. And so how many leads do I need to generate in the next few months, and how much of a budget do I need? So honestly, LaShonda, on a slow time, I might spend $10 a day. So what, $300 a month? That's not a ton to generate a lot of leads.
It keeps you from running yourself into the ground, dancing in front of your cell phone, which I'm all about. In my 30s, I'm like, we did it. So now like I'll do like Black Friday or Throwback Thursday. And I'm like, y'all remember when? Because I'm not doing it no more. So, it's there if you need it, if you want it, but we're not dancing anymore. So you're saying, okay, so let me reverse engineer this. You've got the quiz. You know that it's perfectly crafted to your target audience for the collective. Is that when you say cost per lead, do you mean lead for the collective or lead as in they're on your email list? Like, what are we considering a lead in this scenario?
Right. So a lead in the case of quizzes is someone that actually joins your email list. And so in the case of Interact, they give you the option to not make people sign up. Sometimes that's kind of annoying where you have to sign up for an email list to get your result. they recommend that if you leave it optional, you're actually going to get higher quality leads joining your email list. So in this case, leads is who actually fills out the form at the quiz to be on your email list. Now, I can take that further and say, well, what is the ROI of it all that leads to my collective or my paid offers? And that's also part of this. That's like the business case. And I have some of those numbers. It's not a perfect science, but
No,
it
girl,
is.
we talking numbers. We're getting into that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, my LinkedIn fam knows this. Every Saturday I do a strategy roundup post for the Data Girlies. Now, I don't know how big the Data Girly community is on LinkedIn, nor do I think they call themselves Data Girlies. But I like the numbers because I don't like to make emotionally driven decisions in my business. Like, I just want the numbers to do the talking. It's not personal, it's just data. I just like to manipulate the data. I like to experiment. But I'm still a girly, so the Data Girlies, which will probably also be on a t-shirt, coming to a shop near you. So if we're talking, there's so many numbers I want to know. Okay, so cost per lead, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying they are considered a lead when they go into the quiz funnel, they complete the quiz, and then they agree to give you their email address to get on your email list. So obviously you are nurturing those emails, and you know that I'm assuming your email list is where you really convert people into collective members. Probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's the case for most people. Like, you're bringing and you're using social media, you're using live speaking and podcasting and all the things. You're dumping them into your business funnel to ultimately go on your email list to be nurtured. Most people are not directly selling through an Instagram post. That's not the goal.
Correct.
The goal is to get them on the list. We need a long-term relationship. We need some commitment. Okay. So you pay to get the leads from Meta on the email list. Okay. So we got that. But then, like, what's the data looking like for the amount of people that do that? Like, who actually go to the quiz and take it? Like, I think don't you have that number of the amount of people who actually complete the quiz after coming into the funnel?
Yeah, I can read some to you. So there's a difference in interact between completions. Yeah, I wrote it. I did a big refresh this morning. So the number of completions that's someone who's finished the quiz is 17,834. Now, out of that, the leads, the amount of people who've signed up for my email list, this is over about 5 years, is 10,975. So that completion of the quiz to joining my list rate is 61%.
Oh my gosh. And then the quality of the leads is so much better because they have done some work to end up on your list. Oh my gosh.
And I also have some numbers on like the net gain cost per lead. I don't have that saved for you, but there's going to always be a little bit of churn of people who get on your list and you're like, oh, this isn't quite what I thought it was. And this isn't a resource that'll help me. So people unsubscribe. But the amount of people that do stay is still worth it, where I think it was like my net gain cost per lead is still around $2. Whereas just the cost per lead from the ads is averaging over the past year about $1.43.
That is ridiculous.
I know.
I literally get on Instagram stories yesterday and I'm like, guys, my list, I need a bigger list. I have plans. I just need more eyeballs. And like, this just feels so in alignment with where I'm at. It's like, it's not necessarily set it and forget it, but it's like, create a system and you get it. You know what I mean? So like, I'm all for it.
And LaShonda too, I think there's something deeper here too, is that with my quiz, when they join, they go into a nurture sequence, like you mentioned, but it's not to sell them immediately on joining my collective or anything. Like, it's not a sales sequence. It's a welcome sequence. And so a lot of what I'm doing in that sequence, which honestly, I'm probably ready to update here soon, is to introduce them to the idea of purpose in business, because this isn't something that I see talked about a lot. Either it's just business from all the think boys and all those people on Twitter or X or whatever it is now, or it's like the life coachy, purposey, find your why. And so what this quiz has allowed me to do is not just build my email list, but build my message and create my own purpose and really share things that are meaningful about growing a business with intention without sacrificing what matters most. So, my welcome sequence is about introducing to them to that philosophy, the power of purpose in business, how it can change things dramatically and strategically. And so, one of the things that I always focus on with my quiz is that it's like always on, but I'm always iterating. The quiz stays the same, but the ecosystem that they're part of, which is my entire brand, is evolving as I'm learning more and more about what people need and what that resonates with them about my message. So it's much more than just like a silly little fun quiz to me. It's a meaningful way for me to really communicate my purpose and my message at a grand scale and still fuel real business results.
Well, I know you said that this is just an entry point, right? I talk about this a lot when I talk to membership communities. I think a lot of us get caught up in the fact that, we're typically multi-passionate people if we find ourselves in the career of being an entrepreneur, right? Like we want to do the most, do all the things like, oh, how do I sell? And what do I sell? And what do I talk about? And I say, let's think about it as a doorway, right? You as a person, you multi-passionate, you got a whole lot of rooms in that house, but you have got to settle on an appealing door, something with some curb appeal that gets people into your ecosystem so you can promote whatever you want at that point, but you have to get them in the door. Yeah. And for me, the doorway is always the email list, right? Whether I am speaking on stage, I'm posting on Instagram, I'm posting on LinkedIn, I'm doing a quiz, what have you. Like the goal is to get them on the email list, to get them into something that I own. Yeah. We do not own Facebook. We do not own Instagram. It can go down at any point. Get them into an ecosystem that I own where I can be comfortable, where I am behind closed doors and I can nurture that relationship. So the hustle culture, the feeling of I have to go and do because I got to make the sale, that pressure goes away because well, I have a natural rhythm of talking to my audience, whether it's once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. Your cost per lead, you got some emails coming up. And so it's less about let me time this perfectly when my audience is on Instagram and let me use this trending audio and let me make a video, which is really not a video. It's really text on a photo. And I'm like, can we stop trying to manipulate people and just provide solutions to problems? Like, let's take it back. Yeah. And I think that's why I get along with you so well is I feel like you get that. Like you're not trying to trick people. You give them the option to opt in. You're not just adding them because you got their business card at a conference. You're like, sis, give me permission because I'm classy here. I've decided this because we're, Max and Isis, so we're classy. And it's like, I'm not trying to trick you into coming off your coins. I want you to not only see me as a person who is competent and capable, but to see me as the person who meshes with your personality, that inspires you to take action, that, causes you to want to implement the strategies because, a tool is only as good as what gets used, right? A hammer can't help if you never swing it. And so I think that there's so many experts and gurus and girl, bye. I'm like, let's stop doing all of that and just try to stay in business and not sacrifice our health in the process. Because even if you hit 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, multi-figure, whatever, if your body is falling apart, if your marriage is falling apart, if you are falling apart, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. No. And, I'm also a firm believer that, this whole mindset of selling people on your P&L statement, like people with real money don't walk around saying how much money they make.
I hate it. I so agree.
All those people with real money driving Toyotas, they don't want you to know how they rolling for real. Okay. So that's not a selling point. Okay. Your skill set, your methodology, the data, the results, the receipts, lead with that.
Mhm.
I don't care if you are a 7-figure whatever, if you're not doing it ethically.
Mhm.
I said that. It's on the record. You know, it's like if I say I'm a Christian, my business practices should reflect the
Mhm.
worldview that I express in my content. If there is a disconnect, if what you say you believe is not in alignment with the services you provide, I don't want it. Okay. And so that is why I absolutely love live streaming right now. I love it because it gets rid of all the polished and the perfect, and it shows people, this person is for real. Like who I am listening to in this moment is the same person. If I run into her at Kroger, getting her woohoos, getting her markdowns, because that's how I roll, that's going to be the same person there as it is in front of this live stream camera. And so unsolicited, I would encourage all of you who are marketing online to really think about putting more effort into your lead magnets, making them irresistible so that you can be real in your emails, so that you can speak to real problems and provide real solutions and lead with service so that you're not caught up in the gimmicks trying to trick people into becoming a customer, because they will come, but sis, they will leave. They will leave. They will burn it down with bad reviews. They will go on TikTok and they will talk about you. Like, it won't be worth it. It won't be worth it. Just provide a solution to a problem. It's just that simple. So I know that some of you are a really good fit for learning from Quinn. So we're just going to talk about, I'm not going to twist your arm, sis. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to let her tell you what she does. And you decide for yourself if you want to hop on in the room. So Quinn, take it away.
Well, I just have to say, they always say that in the last 5 minutes of a therapy session, they finally get to the meat of it. And I think you just did it, because I am right there with you. A business should be grown on purpose, with purpose, without sacrificing the things that matter to you, your values, your well-being, your sanity, your ethics. And so my quiz, like LaShonda said, is the open door that brings people into my ecosystem to talk about those things, to bring together business strategy and planning and purpose on an individual level, not a business mission statement, but your entrepreneurial emotional drive. And so one of the best things that came out of my quiz and thinking about purpose and all of this was my Create Your Purpose Collective, which LaShonda has here, their wait list on my wait list now, on my website now. We actually open applications on Wednesday. So if you want to save $75, you can get on that wait list before then. And really, the collective is a sisterhood, a community of women who, like LaShonda and I, are talking about these things, talking about how to focus their energy with intention, what strategies to experiment with next. And all along the way, supporting each other, cheering each other on with everything that they're doing, all their little wins, all their big wins, and doing it in a supportive space. So we open applications to new members. It's my private community. Everyone has to apply. It's tight and cozy, so everyone knows each other's names. We have about 25 members, and the goal of it is to give you support, education, accountability to really grow your business with intention. And we're looking for 8 more women to join us. We already had 2 people save their spot early, and we have spot bases for 8 more. So yeah, would love to see you guys join the wait list if this resonates with you.
Well, I absolutely love that. And I also have a place for you guys to live. Now, here's the thing. We talk about this a lot in Rising Tide Society, community over competition. Okay. So
Yeah.
it is possible for you to leverage both of our memberships, because I am not getting in the depths of what makes you tick. We talking about YouTube. Okay. That's what we're going to do. That's how it works. So if you don't want to be on YouTube, don't come to me. Don't ask me. That's my life. And that's what I know. But if you do want to know about YouTube, I would love to help you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let some of my past YouTube coaching clients share with you what it's like to work with me. And then we're going to land the plane with a little Q&A. So if you have questions for us, drop them in the chat. If you are watching on LinkedIn or on YouTube, your comments will be highlighted on the screen. So if you are currently watching on Instagram, girl, stop. Go to LinkedIn or go to YouTube so I can see your name and hear what you have to say.
I mean, I could probably go on and on and on.
Do it. Immediately.
Go for it. Do it now.
You just need to do it.
Run, don't watch, submit your application.
LaShonda is a gem.
Her heart is really in it, and she really wants to see other people grow in their business and also grow in life.
She comes prepared. She knows about your business. You get all of the nitty-gritty out of the way and you get to the real stuff immediately.
LaShonda is a giver, full of all the productivity tips and all of the tools. Oh my God, the tools. She's giving us tools that we need to be able to create businesses and thrive on a budget.
I always felt like, okay, she is not in this for the money. She is really trying to educate me so that I can be better in my business. I was just like, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I trust you.
She knows what she's talking about. She's so generous, super smart, talented, and I learned so much from her.
LaShonda is a catalyst. She is a catalyst for movement. She's a catalyst for creativity. I have been lit up. I am excited to go out and do the things. The return on investment is absolutely insane. You're wonderful. Your instructional design is none like I've ever seen before.
I feel like I have walked away with so much. Like, I thought I knew a little bit, but I didn't know anything, but I do now.
If you want to have a real purpose-driven brand and you want a profitable brand, you want to learn from somebody that's more than a YouTuber and more than a marketer, then you need to get coaching with LaShonda.
So friends, I am hosting an event on January 24th, which is Wednesday, where I'm going to teach you how to properly set up your YouTube channel. Now, this is something that I created in response to a question from one of my members. They wanted to take advantage of the fact that we have our kickoff call on the 31st, and they wanted to make sure they had their stuff together. So what I decided to do was open it up to the public so anyone who wants to get started with YouTube can hop into this class, and I'm going to show you how to properly set it up in 2024 because things change all the time. If your YouTube channel, hear me out, if it is not growing, there is a strong possibility that you have it set up incorrectly or you have things toggled off that should be toggled on. And some of this stuff is intuitive, some of it's not. So what I would encourage you to do is to go to Instagram. You can DM me the word channel. I will send you the link. It is also on the top of my website, LaShondaBrown.com. So you can go to LaShondaBrown.com and you can sign up there. We have over 120 people signed up for this class already. It's going to be nuts. I'm hosting the call on StreamYard. So the same experience that you're getting on this particular live stream, you're going to experience in class. I love to use AHA slides. I love to bring people up in the hot seat. I don't know if anybody wants to come up here right now. Some of you are probably at work watching this. But if you do want to hop into the hot seat, I always leave it available for 2 people who want to come up on the screen, join the conversation. So if that's something you're interested in, you can definitely do that. But I just want to let you know kind of what I'm working on and what I'm doing. So we're going to land this plane with any questions. I did see a couple in the comments, so we'll address those. If you do want to hop into the hot seat and come on screen, I will email you the link to join the stream. And it's really fun. You don't have to do it. Now, this happens a lot in my classes. I have never had people on social media join. So I'm going to leave the door open for you. If you want to come on in, you buy me a coffee, I'll let you in the house. But otherwise, you can stay where you are. So I do see some comments here. Shelby says this is her first time joining from YouTube. So I thank you for coming over to where the real party is. Appreciate you. Darlene, great point. Get people to a place you own. Darlene, I messaged you in the chat. I don't know if you saw it. I literally, it's right here. I still have your card from the last live stream. Because I didn't have your address. So it says, how you doing? And it has your Starbucks gift card and a cute little affirmation card that says, growth is my daily choice. So I couldn't send this to you because I don't have your address. So DM me your address, please, ma'am. And I will get that in the mailbox today. Let's see here. Shelby says, I can always tell when I'm getting tricked and I hate it. No one likes being tricked. Nobody wants that. Paula with Ditch the Dogma. Paula is one of my members. Love her channel. And it's so important that you don't just sign up for these tools, y'all. You got to use them. You have to use them. So I told you, like, you want to follow me because I'm doing the free trials. I'm testing stuff out. I'm going through the effort of saying what's worth the money, what's not, what does it do, what does it not. I also negotiate some discount codes with some of these folks. So if you want my discounts, then all you need to do is DM me the word tools. You can also go to the tools page on my website. Either place will get you there. And that's where you can see kind of a roundup of what I've been able to scrounge up to save you guys some money. So that's just a place for you to look. Let's see here. Shelby says 100%. I see so many people I work for say, we got to send this by blank date. I'm always like, wait, who told you this? Let's slow down and do better, not more. Yes, I love that. I did see a question here about email marketing. Shelby says, I have a hard time with email marketing because as you grow, they seem to charge more. What platform do you use? Straight up, I'm loyal to Flowdesk. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because they do not charge you more as your list grows. They don't punish you for list growth. Their templates are also stunning because they lead with design. I'm gonna be real with you. Your stuff looks real bougie and real nice. So I like it. I do have a link for a 30-day free trial and 50% off your first year. So that discount code is going to be on the list as well. So just DM me the word tools and I'll get that to you so you can try it for a month. I recommend trying it for a month before you cancel what you got in case it's not a good fit. So just go ahead and DM me the word tools. Quinn, what are you using for your email?
So I use MailChimp. I've been there from the very beginning in my business. I know that there's other ones that are sexier in the online business space, but I've never had an issue with it. I love it. But I'd say Shelby.
But what are you paying though? Like, are you paying more than, what is that? Hold on, let me do the maths.
I think it's like $100 a month or something.
Sis, Flowdesk is $38 a month. And it's $19 a month with my code. See, we got to do better.
Here's the problem. I have like 7 years of historical data, tags, workflows. Like, it's not worth it to me. But I'd say if anyone's in the same situation, the best strategy is to do a list clean, like at least twice a year. Like, who hasn't opened your emails, send them a re-engagement strategy. If they're still not active, like literally take them off your list. You can archive them or whatever, but I always recommend that for my clients at least twice a year, and I do it myself.
That's so good. So Paula says, when you create a quiz, where should it live? Everywhere, your website, YouTube, social feeds, or is there a specific strategy that you would suggest?
Yeah. So the nice thing with Interact specifically, it's embeddable. So I have it embedded on my website, which I always encourage with any opt-in, get them to your website so they can traipse around and see what else is there after they're done with the quiz. And then when it comes to social media, that should be really just the content that drives people to the quiz on your website to take it. So yeah, always house it on your website first and foremost.
Love that. Girl, this was fun. Let me double check and make sure nobody wants to play, because I don't want to leave them out just in case. So it's hard when you do the live streams because a lot of people are watching from work. So yeah, it looks like y'all are being good. Y'all are working. Okay. That's fine. Let's see here. Camille said, LaShonda, I hope you're going to help us with StreamYard. Girl, you already know. In fact, thank you for giving me an excuse to put up that link. Hello. Seriously though, guys, I have 3 tutorials already filmed. We just hired on editor number 4 because they can't keep up with me. Okay. So I've got 3 tutorials coming out about StreamYard. I already have my StreamYard shirt, and we will be doing StreamYard strategy inside of Bootstrap Creators, because I love this, because I get to collaborate, create in real time, and then repurpose this stuff. You guys are going to see clips from this all over the internet. And so what I do is I get all my work done Mondays at 10. And then if I have to, that's all the work I need to do all week. At that point, my team members can log into StreamYard. They can download the audio and turn it into a podcast if I wanted. They can download our individual video feeds and create content. I can share out the replays on social media. Like, it is the best. So I'm telling you, go ahead, get your free trial. Go ahead and sign up. I really, really, really want to be posting at least one of those tutorials in the next couple of weeks. So while you're still in free trial mode, you will get access to that. Basically, I had questions come in through the membership. And so I essentially addressed the question as a YouTube video. So there are real questions that people asked. One was like, how do you onboard your live streaming guests? One was, how do you, I think it was about like editing a live stream after you go live, because a lot of people don't know how to do that in YouTube. So I talked about that, and I forget what the third one was. But anyway, they've already been recorded. They're being edited. So I would encourage you, if you've enjoyed this process, that you go ahead and get your free trial. It's coming. I'm just waiting on them to edit it. But I've recorded my part. Because I got my system down, because now I can just record here. I can hit record on the back of my teleprompter camera. And I did all 3 videos in one session. It took me like an hour. And then I took the card out. I put the screen recording and the audio recordings on a flash drive, and I took it down to the basement and I said, make me a video, please.
That's your work less, live more mentality. I'm excited.
Yes, but I gotta pay more for payroll, so it kind of balances out.
Yeah,
you gotta, what is it? You gotta eliminate stuff that somebody else can do better or faster, delegate things that somebody else can do, or automate with systems. So that's your choice if you want to work less and live more.
I'm excited for you to talk to the collective on that too next March.
Girl,
March,
I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in because my keynote is work less, live more. And so I'm taking keynote and I'm adding application, because like keynotes are like motivational. This is possible. But when I go to memberships, I'm like, no, ma'am, this is what you need to sign up for. Click this link, do this thing. Yes, we need steps. We need implementation.
I'm a systems nerd. So when you were saying that, it was my love language.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, girl. We're going to have links to click, because the girlies, they like their worksheets. So, friends, let's see. Did I get everyone's comments here? Camille said, perfect. Girl, I got you. I got you. This is why I needed a membership, because I give too much information out for free. So since it's like recurring, I know I'm good. So I just lavish on the membership and like let the credit card processing do the boundaries thing. Because I don't really do well with that. I just like to give. It's like, I can't be bothered with gatekeeping. So I'm like, just sign up, just do it.
You're a gem.
So let's see. Doors close on the 30th. So if you guys want to be in the room, make sure you hop on over to, and that's the other thing. Did you know that my membership is free through Buy Me a Coffee? Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah. So Buy Me a Coffee. So if you scan that QR code, it'll take you to it.
That's cool.
I will show you really quick. It is wild. So Buy Me a Coffee. If I share that tab instead, it's so cool.
I'm learning all new things. And I thought
I know, this is what I'm saying. I just be telling everything. This has absolutely nothing to do with quizzes. So that video is hosted on my YouTube channel. And so I created kind of like a welcome video that would also be pinned to the top for people who were going to Buy Me a Coffee and didn't really know how to navigate it. And so there are 3 things that people can do. They can become a star student, which is my monthly workshops that I co-present. So that's my opportunity to bring in people like you who have subject matter expertise to teach my community. And because of this, it's like a subscription to my workshop. So they don't have to keep going to my shop and every month buying a ticket.
That's nice.
What's cool about it is it pre-sells my workshops. So I know based on how many star students I have, these tickets are already spoken for. So between star students and then my YouTube membership, which is the Bootstrap creators, I start out selling my workshops typically being at over like 50% capacity, like already full. So I cap it at 50 to make sure that people get their questions answered, that the experience is super positive. Because I'm not trying to like have workshops with 300 people in it and people get frustrated and like ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
So if you sign up for Bootstrap Creators, you obviously get, access to the YouTube membership, but you also get the monthly workshops and the replays and stuff. So that is at the top through posts. And so you can see here, I have the different types of posts. So like you have your workshop replays. So this is the workshop I just did with Sean, where we talked through media kits.
Oh, I know Sean.
You know Sean too?
He's great. He mentioned you to me when we first met.
Yeah, Sean is going to end up coming here. I'm so excited. He's going to come for Apple Festival weekend, which I need to invite you to as well.
Like in person?
Yeah, girl. I rent a whole farmhouse.
Oh my gosh. So when I heard you say apples, like apple, and then I was like, wait, no, like apple, like the food.
Like the fruit.
I love it. I love apples.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't like conferences because they're exhausting and a waste of money.
Yeah.
So I just make it really appealing for people to come to me, and then I just host them.
Amazing.
I literally, I see what other people are doing and I'm like, and that's what I'm not going to do. It's pretty fun. So there's the workshop replays. Then you've got the private podcasts, which is cool. So I keep them up to date as to what's changing in YouTube because it happens so fast. So they can either listen to it or read it. Then we do Sunday roundups. And so the roundups will show you like who posted content that week. So we can go and kind of help them out. So I put my video there, but then I also put so Camille's on here. So Camille's video is tagged. Lex is there, Caitlin, Bree, Alan, Cher, Claire. Yeah. So that's who posted last week. So that's there. And like all of this is free.
Mm-hmm.
Literally all of it's free. And then what else do I do here? I think we have one more. This is super cute. A lot of the bootstrappers are doing video podcasts. So I told them, I said, hey, let us know the name of your podcast, the link to your podcast, who would be a good guest, who's your target market, and what's your bucket list goal for 2024 so I can support you. And they're going to comment on that post so we can actually guest on each other's podcasts.
Perfect.
And bring quality to each other. So it's just like, all of this it's like an equivalent to a Patreon.
Yeah.
And, so I really like that. And then obviously if someone wants to buy me a coffee, then they can just click on support and they can either do 1, 3, 5 or type a number. And a coffee is just $5.
I didn't even know this tool did membership at all until you showed me this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm so cheap, girl. And so what I'm doing is I'm beta testing the concept of a membership with Buy Me a Coffee. And I'm working with Uscreen to actually build out a custom white labeled platform for my membership. So Q1 is the beta test. And then we're going to roll out into the formal app in Q2.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to spend the money on something that maybe people didn't want. And so that's why I like about Buy Me a Coffee. And then with support, I have it toggled on so I cover the processing fees. So for them, it's just a clean 5, 15, 25 or whatever they type in.
Nice.
And then the membership is just connected to Stripe, which is great because when I do the migration, unlike Patreon that does like all the processing for you, it's actually setting up subscriptions with Stripe. So it's going to be a seamless migration.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So I'm really excited about it. And I like the transparency of it. Like you can see at the top, it says like 229 supporters. So as much as I can, I try to be honest about like what's actually happening behind closed doors. Like what does it actually look like?
Yeah.
Because people lie.
Oh, for sure.
And I didn't realize how much they lied
it's astounding.
I got into like the online business community more. And I'm like, you're just not telling the truth anymore. You just can't be bothered. That's
maybe they even believe it. Who knows?
I think they say it long enough that they do start believing it. Yeah. Truthfully. So it's interesting. But I'm a fan. And I mean, I definitely think you should have a Buy Me a Coffee because like literally what you gave today is, I mean, this could have been a masterclass.
Yeah, I mean, I've done one.
Like this literally could have been a masterclass. And so I think having something like Buy Me a Coffee makes it really easy for you to say like, hey, if you receive value from this, scan my QR code, head over to, QuinnTempest.com/coffee and feel free to buy me a coffee. And what I love is people also leave little messages of encouragement. So like when you're like on the struggle bus and you want to be reminded that what you do matters and there are real people watching you.
Yeah.
That's where you go to look. You go to buy me a coffee for a little, self-esteem boost.
I love that everything you do is like get paid for what you're doing. And I love, even if it's a coffee,
but here's the thing. People don't understand. If you get paid a little from a lot of people, it adds up.
Yeah, it does.
I don't like high ticket offers because it's high stress.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I'm like $5 here, $10 here, $50 here. No. It adds up.
And it's more accessible. I feel like in the past year, that's been a real change for me in my membership. I've lowered the rate by 30%. I'm offering scholarships now. Like my purpose is to uplift women in business. And if I'm not making my offers accessible, then I'm gatekeeping.
You've missed the point. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the point.
For sure. Well, speaking of which, I'm going to let you do one more pitch.
Oh,
tell the people.
Yeah, well, mine
is. You know what? Even if you don't join the wait list, guys, what you can do to support me, you can try Interact, and to support Quinn. Where is it at? It's in here.
Take the quiz.
I have so many things. Take the quiz. Take the quiz.
Honestly, do that. That's my gift to you, because it's going to start you off with just thinking about your why and your purpose in a different way. And that's my point, right? That's my purpose, is to help people bring their ideas to life. So yeah, take the quiz, DM me on Instagram, because I'm there far too often, and let me know what result you get. And by the way, LaShonda, I have a secondary guess. You're either the creator or the connector. And I feel like you're such a connector already of telling us tools, connecting different people. So I'm so curious to hear what result you get. But yes, take my quiz, come DM me on Instagram, let me know what result you got, and if this got your wheels turning in a new way about your business to make it more meaningful.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah, we could talk all day.
I'm so glad I sprung this on you so hard, girl.
I think it was Thursday. You were like, you want to do this Monday at 8 a.m.? I was like, I haven't even had tea yet.
She's in Arizona, guys. That's why the sun literally rose.
Literally, like I changed my ring light 4 times during this because it was like coming up.
Oh my gosh, I'm dead. Well, I'm really grateful for you. I mean, I have wanted to make content about Interact for so long, but I didn't have like the data and the experience that you have. So thank you for just going with it.
No worries. I mean,
there's it on you, girl. But I can appreciate you being ready.
I so love talking about this. If you ever have questions, if anyone does or wants me to look over their quiz draft, like I'm happy to take a peek and give you my best advice over years of working with this tool.
I love that. Well, before I let you guys go, one more time, I'm going to share with you what Interact does. If you need help setting up your YouTube channel, you can join me in class on Wednesday, or you can join my membership. Everything you need to know can be found at LaShondaBrown.com.
Ready to grow your business with intention, just like Quinn Tempest did? Use a quiz lead magnet to grow your list. Quizzes average a 40% conversion rate. That's 4 out of every 10 website visitors subscribing. And that is not all. Erica Lasan increased her average email open rate from 30% to 60% with her quiz email sequence. Nina Clapperton improves her SEO stats like page views and bounce rates by emailing curated content that solves her quiz leads challenges. And Kay Putnam has made over $100,000 and counting in core sales from her evergreen quiz. Interact is the fastest and easiest way to build and launch your lead generation quiz. And with our newest AI feature, you can have a quiz built entirely for you for free, all in about 5 minutes. The quiz is added to your Interact account where you can customize it to infuse your own sparkle, connect it to your email list, embed it on your website, and start growing the heck out of your email list. Head on over to LaShondaBrown.com/interact to create your quiz lead magnet today.